Hey guys, it's Crystal with Hottie Health here, and we are going to go over contracts today. So I finally got my contract signed, and it has been a bit of a process, but I just feel it makes me better equipped to help other people out there, and that's good for me. So we're going to go over what you can expect to see on contracts. So for me, I got 4 different documents. I've got one of the documents was a waiver of increased risk in the use of unquarantined semen, ovarium, I'm probably saying that wrong, and embryos. Basically, this is indicating that they don't need to go through a second quarantine period. So what they do is they actually used to quarantine it twice and then retest it. Now they test it the one time, and that is basically the way that it goes. So you're going to have that they're going to ask you to sign. Your second is going to be your Zika virus. If you're in Florida or somewhere that it's a bit more prevalent, there may be different requirements there. Since I'm in California, it's a little more lax. It's just saying make some smart decisions. Maybe don't go to those places that potentially have that risk, and just make sure that you really take all precautions. Basically, it's the same things you would do if you were pregnant with your own child. That's the best way to think of it. How would I care for my own? My mom always taught me give things back either the same or better than you got them. So here's a good thought for this. Okay. So then you have I don't know if it's called the same thing for everybody, but mine's called Exhibit A. And basically it's the financial breakdown. And then you've got the actual gestational carrier agreement. And so for the financial breakdown, you have it to where it says when you should be getting your monthly payments and when it should start. It's usually the first of the following month after you hear the heartbeat for the first time. Some of the different things that you're going to expect to see on this are the fee schedule stuff that I don't know if you've already been able to look at that, but basically how much are you going to be getting per embryo transfer, if there's a drop cycle, mock cycle, and you can look or speak to people to see what's best for you on these prices. You want to do this ahead of time, because once you sign that, it's kind of saying that's what you expect, and that's kind of telling them what they can expect. You don't really want to change it too much after that. You're going to have maternity clothes. Traditionally, they do offer a little bit more if you're pregnant with twins. You've got your invasive procedure inconvenience fee. And then you got cesarean section fee, multiple pregnancy reimbursement, loss of reproductive organs, your house keeping and child care assistance. This is really important. You want to make sure that you have the details in there for when it should start, and how long after delivery, and what are the rules during the actual pregnancy if you're on bed rest. You want to make sure that you communicate with somebody in your area to find out how much do they charge for housekeeping. I live in the mountains, so they don't charge very much, where somebody else could live in LA and they could charge a lot for housekeeping or childcare. So you want to try to find something that works for you. And then when you do the the contract information, the legalities back and forth, you can explain that in there, and then usually they'll find a workaround. You've got your airfare and all that. You've got your hotel stay, and you typically get anywhere from around $200 to $300 for that, and as well for food. I'm a little bit of a planner, so I like to make sure. So what I did is I found the hotel that I wanted to stay at. Then I checked what their menu was to get an idea of how much money we would need each day. So that was just one thing that I did. A holding fee is something that is potentially offered for myself personally. I have an IP that's actually in China, and something traditional that they like to do is they actually have 2 surrogates sometimes. So now with their requirements changing to where they are allowed to have 2 children, and with the twins being considered as one child, or one pregnancy, I think is kind of how they go by it. He is going to have 2 of us, and I have an amazing surrogate that's going to be doing it with me, and she'll get pregnant first, and so right now I'm holding for her to get a confirmed pregnancy, at which point they're going to attempt to have me carry twins. We'll see how that goes. With all the new technology, things do work a tad bit better, and with each agency picking people that have the proper suitability, I guess you would say, to be able to carry. I have 4 healthy children and never had any abortions or miscarriages or anything, so my body is well suited for this. Let's see. They're going to ask you to hold off on certain things. You've got, soft cheeses and deli meats and different things like that, different essential oils, the type of exercise and lifting children, different things like that they're going to ask you to potentially hold off on. If you have more questions or want more details, I can definitely do that. You can just leave a comment in the bottom and then I will definitely answer that with a bit more details. Let's see. The travel and stay, we went over that. Housekeeping, breast milk. Sometimes they will ask that you offer breast milk for, if it's local, it can be an extended amount of time. If it's somebody that's maybe a bit farther international, it may just be a month or 2. And then at that point, you would just be able to pump and you can mail it to them. I think there's like an overnight that you do. Another really good thing that I'm going to be doing after this is I will be donating my milk to the preemies. It's like the preemie breastfeeding in Oregon. And so that's something that you can do if you want to donate a bit more. So I get really lucky. The lawyer that I'm working with is actually a IP himself and a lawyer, so he's kind of got like a happy medium going on right there, and he's a really great guy, and I really appreciate it because I was kind of going into this as, oh, well, I don't want this to happen, and I don't want them to abort the baby at this, and all these things, and then he finally said in a very polite way, they're the ones with the baby at the end. And it made me realize that this isn't my child. As much as I will love and nurture these babies while I am pregnant with them or baby, they're not mine. It's my job to protect them and keep them safe, to hand them off to their parents. And I shouldn't sign somebody else up to be able to handle a stressful situation. That's not my responsibility. That's their responsibility, and I'm not going to decide that for them. So that was something that I decided I needed to relax on a bit. Another thing is you can get paid time off for your significant other, so you want to communicate that with them. You can tell them potentially, like, I may have to relocate at the end due to the fact that I'm about 2 hours away from Sacramento, and they might want me near a NICU if there's complications. Other than that, then I'll get to stay in my area, and my husband will have just a typical amount of time off. Then if we do have to go to Sacramento, then there's a clause in there for an extended amount of time off. So you definitely just want to communicate with them, and it's a two-way street. It's a give and take relationship. You don't want to take too much and take advantage of the IPs, but you definitely don't want to put yourself in a bad situation either. You want to come out of this building a beautiful relationship, not only for the parents and their child, but potentially between both families. It's something that can be really wonderful. And, notarized for international. They have to go to the embassy, so sometimes it can take a long time. Time frame on this is definitely not something you can even slightly map out for somebody. Everything could potentially happen. I had to have surgery to get rid of ovarian cyst. I've had holding fees, and you have all these different things that go up the embassy. So I'm a few months away from starting a year ago. So it takes a while, and you just got to be patient, and you really need to know that you're doing this for all the right reasons, because otherwise it will drive you insane. And I know I'm missing tons and tons of information, and you can just let me know, and I will do my best to answer any of your questions. And what my hope is that people will go ahead and leave comments to help add to the video, because we all have such different experiences and things that I didn't even think of. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.